you're a savage and you get out there and you grind hard and you want it bad enough, you can run all these guys over, man. People don't want to go back to work and, they want to stay home and all this bullshit, man. You can't build a real business with people staying at home. You need that connection. You need to be in the office with your like-minded group of people, and you need to be brainstorming and working and coming up with ideas to take the company further. And
can't beat hard work.
That's it. And that was always my mentality. Nobody's ever going to outwork me. So it should be yours. You out there that are listening right now, there's never been more opportunity than there is today.
You and I were both in that place at one time where like, I don't like the position I'm in. I want more. I want something more. But this idea but I'm going to try and enjoy it. But I got to tell you, it wasn't, and I want to know about you too, like earlier on in my career, I felt like it's the grind that we love and sink our teeth into and just go and get after it. But I wasn't having fun.
Yeah.
But man, that time when it switched in my mind, like exactly what you're saying. Let me enjoy this now. Because I've worked hard to get here, wherever this thing is, just like everybody else. But this idea, like, let's have fun while we're doing it along the way. And you're right, it has that butterfly effect. It affects other people and it attracts other people. Before you know it, everybody's vibrating at this great place with enthusiasm and excitement and fun.
I realized when I was young, I got a development deal for Disney when I was, I think I was 25, 26. And I got this development deal, and all of a sudden they gave me I think it was like $100,000. And I had money in the bank. I was like, this is crazy. Because I felt lighter. I was like 26, I think. And it was a development deal for a television show, and all of a sudden I had money. Like my whole life I was poor. And my whole life I was like wondering how I was going to, when I was on my own, and it was like, how am I paying the bills? How am I eating? I remember taking a loose jar of change and counting it all out so I could go to Subway and get a sandwich. That kind of.
You don't forget that kind of shit.
You don't forget that kind of shit. But then the moment I got that check, I remember feeling light.
Yeah.
Like weight had been lifted off me. Like now I didn't have to worry about my rent. Now I didn't have to worry about food. And I remember thinking immediately, oh, this is the key. You just gotta not get to a place where you're not worried about your bills. If that means spend less money, if that means live a more prudent lifestyle, whatever you have to do. But get to that place where you're not worried about bills, because that shit hanging over your head causes stress that ruins lives. It ruins people.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, okay, now the most important thing is keep going.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't lose any ground here and keep going. Because now you know what it's like to be successful. Continue that. Do whatever you have to do, whatever work you have to put in to continue that.
Yeah.
And then when I got to a place where I felt like I have enough money that I feel really secure, then I started to learn how to be happy. But in the beginning, it was just drive. It was just all go.
Yeah.
And it was just very selfish thinking. I'm just thinking only on what I'm trying to do.
But that's all we know. But especially if you grow up broke, and it's the thing that you make up your mind, I feel, and it's the same thing that happened to me. I made up my mind, I'm broke today, but one day I'm never going to be broke, and I will never go back to being broke. At least I'm going to do all I can not to be broke. So when you have that mentality, you have the blinders on.
Yeah.
So this is the way you're thinking. This is until I think we get a little older and we achieve the success, we understand that it starts to go like this a little bit. I got to ask you something. I heard this, and I always wanted to confirm it with you. You started early with martial arts.
Yeah.
Right? And you said there was this great quote, and it was something like, it was martial arts, I think, that gave you the confidence to know that, oh, wait, I'm not going to be broke one day, or something like that. Is that right?
Martial arts was the first thing that I realized, oh, I'm not a loser. And then I started doing martial arts, and I got really good at it. I was obsessed, and I got really good at it really quickly. And I realized, oh, I'm not a loser. I just have to find a thing and really get after it in a way that I know some people that have had an easy life, they're not going to pursue it like it's going to save them. And I was pursuing it like this is going to save me. Because I knew as I kept getting better, I started getting this feeling oh, I'm good at something. I'm good at something dangerous. And then I got really good at it. And then I started winning tournaments and competing and traveling all over the road. And so show up, you get an A. That's all you have to do. Show up and try, you get an A. You don't have to be awesome at it. I just want you to just show up and do your best, and you get an A. It's that simple.
For many times I was laughed at and not believed in, but you know what? Nothing external can defeat the internal. The only thing that can take someone down or break you down is internal. Nothing external is strong enough. It's just about making sure your internal dialogue and your internal belief in yourself is strong enough that it can withstand the external. The external is there. You've got to accept it. You've got to embrace it. You've got to understand it and be aware of it. But don't let it seep into your internal dialogue.
You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Some people dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.